Here we go. Okay. Hey, welcome. Like the box. No.
Yeah, first episode. Hopefully a few more after this. But yeah, I'm T Douglas. Pronouns he and him.
If
For
nobody
anybody,
here, Javon gonna be here.
who doesn't know, that's my name, that's my pronouns. One of the columnists at Blackout, among other things I do in the community. You said what?
I said all kinds of stuff. You do all kinds of stuff.
Oh yeah, all the things.
All the things. And I'm Marlee. I am the editor of Blackout Magazine and sometimes a columnist and do some community stuff too in New York and in Florida.
Oh, and I'm in New York, but I travel. You know,
Travel.
I'll be here. I'll be here and there.
You be here, there, and everywhere. It's more like it. You want to over the next couple weeks?
You said what?
I said you on a world tour over the next couple weeks.
Yeah, I got a couple places I gotta be for a couple different things. Of course, next weekend, well, this weekend coming up, the National Trans March in DC.
That's so dope. I could go.
Definitely gotta make it there if I don't make it nowhere else. But yeah, that's my first stop on my list.
We definitely gonna have all types of columnists from the magazine there. So, September issue, maybe October, depending on when stuff. And we'll have all types of coverage for the march and pictures and people's stories and reflections. So that should be dope because that's an important day.
Definitely.
The Democratic National Convention, that's a big deal. Actually, in the September issue, we're even going to have an interview with Miss Major that Giovanna and Winston did. That's a big deal because she in her life and all the iconic things that she did. So we got all kinds of stuff coming up. I'm excited about that. She's so dope. When I met her after we left, I like boo-hoo cried. I like busting his tears because I felt like I met, I don't know, Michael Jackson or something. I was excited.
I'm so jealous. I wish I had met her.
Oh my God, so I bet you you'll meet her in DC though.
Look, fingers crossed, you know.
I'm gonna be with her in DC, so I'm going to meet her then.
Yeah, it's Mother Major.
All right, so we're here to talk, right?
Yeah.
Happy blackout overview.
I mean, you know, it's good to give the people a little breakdown of why they came or why they clicked on or why they watching a video now or later, right?
Speaking of which, tell the folks why there is a Tea with TNT. What is this thing?
What is it?
Yeah, what are we doing here?
I mean, we just talking, having conversations, you know. Yeah, having conversations.
We're gonna talk about
Giving different perspectives on things because you know everybody has a different out. You can have one. I always say it's duality in everything, and you know, of course, from the Gemini. So, but that is one of our good traits that we can see the duality in a bunch of things. And me, not only am I a Gemini, but also have lived two different lives. It's a lot of duality going on in here.
I mean,
Right.
everything though, everyone and everybody and all the things. So it's important.
Right.
So the thing I feel like is dope is because we both do similar work. I think that we are alike in a lot of ways, and I think that we are different in a lot of ways. Oh, I was gonna have my Mickey Mouse pride cup, but it's over there. You could have been twinning. But what's our topic for today? What are we gonna talk about first?
I guess a topic that's always talked about, no matter what circle you in, is dating. You know, specifically in the LGBTQ community, and why it's so hard. And it's funny.
So, is it why it's so hard in general? Like for all
Right, so hard.
hard for us,
I
that
mean,
might be two different questions.
listen, dating is right now for me like, you know, it has its ups and its downs.
It's the king of the thirst trap.
You said what?
This one, the king of the thirst trap.
Ooh, I never post any thirst traps.
You don't be having them light skin face pictures,
Have a what?
Douglas? I said you don't be having them light skin face pictures. Do the face. Do the face. Don't act like you're talking about. Do the face.
I don't know what face that is.
What
T.
is when you take? Don't front. Don't front because
Picture. What's the face when I take pictures? The face that I have. That's the face that I use.
you a
You
lie.
know, this face.
On screen so I can hold up the face. You gotta make me pull up my ass and find the face.
I have this face. I was born with this. This the face I was
That's
born
why
with, you
you
know.
keep talking. I'm gonna show you the face since you don't know what.
I don't know the face.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna need, I don't. But yeah, you know, why is it so hard to date?
In the face. Why is dating hard for you?
Because of the face? Is that what you said?
Matter of fact, I don't even gotta look for the face. The profile picture is the face. That's the
The
face.
profile picture?
Yeah, I don't even gotta look for. I don't even gotta dig through the picture.
Oh, I was sitting in a car in that picture and the sun was in my
That's
eyes.
what it was. The sun. Okay. All right. We
Yeah, it was about 90 degrees that day.
It was hot. It was the heat too. Was overpowering you, and the sun was making your eyes
The humidity, the
wet.
all of that, all the things.
All of that. Okay. Okay.
Thing.
Keep talking.
Yeah,
You can
yeah.
see your eyes. The next
I
one.
mean, you know, I was just talking to one of my friends, and he was asking me what the podcast, what the topic was going to be for tonight, and I was telling him about it. And you know, for people who don't know, I live in Western New York, so yeah, dating in Buffalo. Sheesh. We was at, listen. I ain't no lie. I read several articles that Buffalo is the worst place to date at.
I don't know. Well, I'm from Western New York too. You know that I'm from Rochester originally, so I definitely get the challenges that are Western New York. But to be honest, now that I moved to a bigger market, it's not really much different down here. I feel like it's when you talk about like general dating, I feel like a lot of it is finding people. So usually the queer community is, like the big community is this big. The queer community is like this big. Then the Black queer community is this big. Then if you add any other, whatever, first of all, everybody in that circle. So it's hard to find people that haven't already dated your cousin or your ex or your best friend or your, whatever. So that just cuts down on numbers a lot. I think it's a numbers game.
I wouldn't say that. I mean, you know, I think that's a portion of it, but I just, you
I
know,
think
it.
honestly, the dating pool has diarrhea in it. That's because she just came back from summer camp. That was a response.
What?
She said the dating.
She said, because are we allowed to read these comments?
Yeah.
All right, so we got a comment from Giovanna that says, because these MFs are immature and just want sex to be the foundation of a relationship, and it's like sinking sand. The da- the dating pool definitely has diarrhea in it.
I mean, that's true. I don't feel like that's necessarily like a LGBTQ thing though. Like I feel like what makes our situation unique is the fact that there's so few of us. Because even if you go someplace else that's bigger, it's all them people know each other too.
Yes, but they don't know me.
No, you. That is true. But once you jump in the circle, then you in the circle, and you know all them too. You got to keep switching cities.
I travel a lot.
That's that traveling. That makes now it makes
No,
all.
no, no. But no, seriously, I don't think I think for me because of the work I do and the fact that I work in community here, it would really be hard for me to like date
Yeah.
here. Uh, so I practice not dating here very avidly, very avidly. Yeah, I definitely don't date in Western New York at all. The last time I went on a date in Western New York, like with somebody from here, it was probably like pre-pandemic.
Yeah, you pushing
Or
back years now. So, like, is
yeah,
it,
yeah.
or is it just not Western New York? Period.
You said what?
So, is it just not Buffalo or not Western New York? Period.
It's mostly not New York, period.
Fair. Fair. I. I'm trying to think the last time I dated in New York. It's been a long time. It's been like 8 years probably. I mean, mind you, I'm not there anymore, but still.
So how long have you been in Florida?
4 years? A little over 4 years?
Okay, so when was the last time you dated in Florida?
I have only really dated one person since I've been down here.
And
I
is that like dates too, like on dates or?
That's the other part of it. Is like what's your definition of dating? Like go on a date or see dating someone consistently? Is that dating? Or what
Oh,
are you talking about?
no. So I don't know. I think that's so. I'm glad you said that because I think that is one of the biggest things about dating is for me. I don't think people know how to date. Um,
Fair. Say more.
I so I feel like people are like, oh, we went on a date. We're in a relationship. Like, no, like the experience for me, I feel like the experience of dating should be like I go on a date with this person and see if I like them or I enjoy their time. I go on a date with another person and maybe see if I enjoy their time. Like that I don't know. Maybe I'm just real old school, but for me that's like what dating is. Like
Opposite of old school. But I have I feel like I see the opposite problem more that like you can be in damn near a full-fledged relationship with somebody, like y'all sleeping together, y'all spending all your time together, you on the phone 24 hours a day, and they don't think you're dating. Like,
so my questions. So wait. So with all of that, I'm because I wasn't talking about doing all of that. I was just talking about like,
yours, but I feel like the opposite, where a lot of people will do these full-fledged situationships and then still consider themselves fully single. Whereas,
well, is that established?
I mean, when it's me, it's established. I don't know. I can't speak for everybody else.
That's not serial dating. That's like getting to know people. How do you expect to know if you like somebody if you don't date? Go on dates with people. And I'm not saying sleep with everybody you go on dates with. I'm just saying see if you match, see if you enjoy each other's company, see if y'all vibe together. Sure, you might go on one date and you might be like, yeah, we ain't talk about nothing. There was no mutual interest besides a physical attraction. And then what? Like, I just feel like people just jump the gun too much and they just like, ooh, I'm attracted to you. I'm attracted to you. Let's date. No,
So,
that's not.
like, do you consider, like, what are your levels? So, like, is it like a date, dating, talking? Like, what are your levels?
Um, I honestly, I think my levels are really like dates, dating, relationship, you know,
Talking phase?
and then You said what?
So no talking phase.
I mean, I feel like the talking phase is established in the dating.
Okay, that's fair. I would say, but I think that's a
But,
lot.
but
I think people
I also,
have all of those.
you said what?
I said I think that's a lot of the confusion though, is people have different definitions for all those and don't ever have the conversation as to like what, you know, what they think, what they're doing, what the difference is, personally. Because like for me, I guess I would say talking, that like you meet somebody, y'all vibing a little bit, you having some conversation to see if you might like that person, like even to be willing to go on a date. Then a date, like a date here and there, whatever. Then like dating is when you're going on like consistent dates. Then at that point you evaluate whether you would want to get into a relationship, I think.
I mean, yeah, and I think that's the thing for most people is that everybody's definition of dating is different, and like people never really communicate. You know, what is your definition? Like,
I think it also matters why you're dating though. Like some people are dating because they like dating. Like that part is fun for them. They like going places, they like the company, they like whatever. And then other people are dating to find their person.
I mean, I guess that could be,
Hey, they don't date because they want to be in a relationship at some point.
but I mean, you could be if you dating because you like to go on dates and you like to be have the company. That kind of don't make no sense because you could do that with a person that you like and have a bond with and connect with.
You get no
So,
arguments here.
but
I feel like that's not always the case. I think some people just like to like go out and do stuff, and they like. I think that's the thing. But that's what I'm saying. That's why it gets confusing because people have completely different definitions. Like somebody just said mad heart, so I'm assuming that means they agree. Because like some people just like to have people that they like. I have a friend who is literally just a friend. We're just platonic friends, and we go on friend dates all the time. So like we go, like they'll take me, whatever. We went to go get our nails done, whatever. And they're masculine presenting. So, and I'm pretty sure date femmes, but like that's all it is. Like there's no extra whatever. Like we just go places and do stuff, and no, we don't like each other, which makes me feel better because then I don't have to worry about anybody liking me. And we whatever, and then we go our separate ways, and like that's literally all it is. That's not what I was talking about, but that's the thing. But some people, I think, just like meeting people. They like the freshness of it, like the newness of it, and they want to. They really have no interest in committing to anybody. They just want to like keep going on dates. Like that is definitely a thing. I think that's definitely a thing in the LGBTQ community.
um, well, I don't know. I have a lot of female friends that I go on platonic dates with, so I think it's a good thing.
Do they
I think it.
do they know it's platonic? Do you think any of them like you?
No,
Are you sure? I feel like
I'm pretty.
the person that could think they're going on a platonic, the other person thinks they're going on a not platonic date, and they're
No, these are my friends. We've been friends for years.
that.
Yeah, like no. If any of them tune into this, I'm sure they're gonna be like, "Nope, not dating him." Like, yeah. No, no, I have a lot of my friends are female and I enjoy that. Like they keep me very balanced, you know.
Yeah, because
They could tell me like
your page for some reason or another. It
you
stays
said
some.
what?
I said that's true because there's always some girl cussing you out for some reason on your page, like yelling at you about something. Like platonic friends, they platonic
Oh,
friends.
I don't is this always somebody on my page yelling at me?
Yeah, some girl who's a Virgo, because I know she always comments on the stats whenever you put stuff up about Virgos. I know there's
Oh,
at least that.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I got a lot of platonic friends. But I mean most of my platonic friends I've known for like years, probably like 8, 9, 10, 20. You know, some of them.
Do you collect? Are you a collector? Like, if you try to date somebody and it didn't work, you'll like become friends, or you like them and they didn't like you, or they liked you or you didn't like them, and so you like friends on it. Do you have those kind of friends? Because
No,
I feel like that's a
I I I don't I don't know. I feel like that's a little weird for me because if I like you and you don't like me, then we not about to be friends. Like, okay, let me move on.
tradition.
Um, and if you like me and I don't like you, like I think that's a little weird too because why would you want to be my friend knowing that like I don't have the same feelings for you? So I don't think I mean I've only had a few instances where like people that were my friends were like it was really like after I transitioned they were like I think I'm attracted to you and I was like that's weird for me. Like I don't really know what to do with that because I see you as a friend, but you know, we work through it. It's cool, you know. I feel like that's not something to like lose a friendship over.
So you asked me before. I don't really date. Like I don't really date
Um,
up there anywhere. I don't really date.
that's wild because I don't really date either. I date a little bit.
You date. You
Um,
date a little bit.
I do. I date a little bit here and there, but for the most part, you know, I work a lot, so
Well, see, that's
you
the
know.
beginning. I asked you, like, are we talking about why it's hard in general or why it's hard for us in particular? Because I feel like in that way, you and I have a lot in common. Because one, not so much for me now, but for me before, it's really difficult to date in the community you work in. This is a bigger. Shut up, Giovanna.
I know
Um,
that.
I work in a bigger market now. Like, people are more spread out, so it's not as weird. But like, I know, like, I know dating inside Rochester or dating inside Buffalo or either or, because they're right on top of each other, is really tough because the community's so small. Um, but it's also really hard to find people that understand how much we work and what that commitment to community looks like. Like, it's hard to find people who understand that and don't feel like neglected, which is why I often end up dating people that I work with, because not like in the same building, because I don't work at a place, but like community people, because community working people, because even when we're working, we're spending time together. And they also get, like, when you get a call at 2 a.m. and you got to deal with somebody ready to jump off a bridge or whatever. Like, everybody doesn't understand that. If you work at a job that you like clock in and clock out of, and that's the end of it, like, people don't always understand that.
That's real valid. But yeah, I don't really date in community either.
No, but I'm saying you understand why it's
I get it.
somebody in,
I get it.
because they don't necessarily get it. But
Yeah.
dating long distance, I don't know if that's as much of a thing, because they.
Oh, I love long distance. All of my last few relationships been long distance. I love it. It gives me my space, my time. I can go visit them. They can come visit me, you know. And in that time of, you know, me visiting them or them visiting me, I can set out time specifically for them, you know, because I know they coming.
Yeah.
So I mean, and I'm not. I'll hop on a plane for a date. I'll hop on a plane.
Are you a cheater?
No.
I'm just asking. I'm not saying you.
Anybody in this video can comment and say no.
It's so funny.
Last few, how many it's been? I mean, I'm an old man. I'm not. I haven't been single forever, and I'm. You know what? Let me leave Giovanna alone.
You ready to sip your tea? You ready to sip your tea?
I mean, you know, I date here, there. You know, I practiced polygamy for a while. That was cool.
I have had that conversation with folks about why people is a thing for them. It's always another interesting question. Speaking of which, that's a good segue. That's a good segue. So part of my problem with dating, I don't know if it's part of my problem with dating, but part of my problem in general, and it involves dating, I guess, is that my orientation doesn't exist as far as I'm concerned. Like, there's not a category that fits what I like. Doesn't exist. So that makes it complicated for me finding a dating pool.
Oh, what's that like?
which part? Not finding a dating pool or the category that doesn't exist?
Both,
Both.
both of them.
Um, it's interesting because like my community, my friend group, my village, whatever, in New York was way different than it is down here. Like most of my friends were gay dudes and trans folks. Like that was my community in New York. In Florida, it's almost entirely queer women, almost completely. Have one gay male friend that I'm real cool with, but that's like semi-professional relationship, and then starting to meet some trans folks in the community down here, which I love. But it's different because it's mostly women. I run a group down here that has lesbians in the title, which is interesting because I really don't consider myself a lesbian. But it's as close as I got to whatever I'm looking for. So a lot of times I'll say queer, but they don't really use queer in the South the way they use it in the North. Like it hasn't transitioned to like normalcy down here the same way it has up north. So my actual like type or whatever, I mean, like all the people I date are different, have dated are different, except possibly all pretty narcissistic, but that's about all they have in common. But the face, that's the T too. That's just it. But my type is, or what I'm attracted to. That's a better way to say it because I don't know if I really have a type. But what I'm attracted to.
Okay, wait.
What?
For the people watching, you about to put out there what you attracted
Oh,
to.
you.
So for the people watching, pay attention. Yeah, I might want to slide in her DMs.
Whatever. Don't do that. Don't do that. They're gonna sit there. Um,
See?
but that's part of why it's hard for me to date. Like it takes a lot for me to trust people. It takes a lot for me to open up or like really like people. Like I've like very few people. Like you've dated your last few relationships. Like it would take me 10 years to have a few relationships because I don't mess with a lot of people. Like I just don't.
The people want to know. They already asking what you attracted
Okay,
to.
so what I'm attracted to are trans men and masculine presenting women. So when I say that there's no category that fits that exactly, any category that exists, like classification of orientations that exist, will say like masculinity. You're attracted to masculinity, but that'll include cisgender men, which I'm not attracted to at all. There is not really a category for specifically people that are attracted to trans men. Like there's not an orientation around because then it starts getting into like fetishy range, not orientation. So like that's a no-go. So it doesn't exist. Like the circle in which I would find a home doesn't exist. Like it's not a thing. So so yeah, it doesn't exist. Um
I mean, it might exist. You never know. You got to put the vibes
I have
out there.
educated myself and looked it up because nobody wants to be typecast or put into a box, but it's also nice to find people that feel the same way you feel. It does not exist. It does.
But no, but what I'm saying is, like you putting it out there on this live, there might be other people in other spaces that feel the same way. And now y'all can come together and form a collective of a community and you'll have your tribe. That's all I'm saying.
No, like I want them to create it because it doesn't exist. Because like I had talked to a friend of mine a long time ago about it, and he was a trans man, and he was like, well, he was concerned that it would imply that you could tell who a trans man is from like across the room, and so it wasn't a positive thing to have that be like a category of orientation or whatever. Look at Jamai, you just attracted to everybody. Get out. Goodbye. Goodbye, Jamai.
Okay, put it out there, Jay.
She ready for you. I'm not. And so I kind of like left it alone after that. But I finally realized what the key is for me. Both trans men and so I am attracted to masculinity. However, I'm also attracted to queerness. So trans men and studs basically typically are both socialized in the LGBTQ community. Typically, you were a part of the LGBT community some way before you transitioned and continue to be if you are a stud. And the LGBTQ community and LGBTQ culture, queerness is such a part of who I am. The idea of like leaving that to pursue a relationship or feeling disjointed from that like doesn't feel right to me. Like you don't understand the culture. If you haven't ever been a part of it, you haven't been socialized as part of the queer community, and that's something that means a lot to me. And I don't think I could find that in a cis man. If you can, I'm sure they're very few and far between. Plus, there's like physical stuff with cis men that I'm not interested in, but that's a whole other conversation.
I mean, but I'm saying, well, what you described though, you could at this point you could date a butch queen.
Yeah, but that's not it either. But a butch queen
Okay.
isn't masculine.
Some of them are.
I've never met a masculine butch queen. To me, that
Oh, I know a bunch of them.
ooh, what butch queen do we both know that would that?
I, I don't know if we both know them, but like I can send you some pics of some masculine butch
I don't.
queens later. Oh,
I don't
okay.
know any masculine butch queens. But again, I told you there's some physical stuff that has to do with cisgender men that because obviously you could be cisgender, straight, or gay. So there's some physiological things with cisgender men that I'm not interested in. So that eliminate butch queens also, but
So, but that might eliminate some trans men as well.
it may fewer, but it may.
Oh, okay.
Oh, somebody would like an explanation of butch queens.
Explanation?
Yeah, what it is. Someone asked, "What's a butch queen?"
Um, just a gay male in the community,
But it's not
but mostly it's a black and brown community. I don't know any.
a more specific definition than I'm about to look.
Giovanna said masculine.
See, that's not my understanding of butch queen though.
I don't know, because my understanding of butch queen is they come in a large variety. I mean, you could be a feminine butch queen, you could be a masculine butch
That's
queen.
true. If you get more specific with butch queen, then I'll give it to you. But in general, so the definition says a gay male who is neither overly masculine nor overly feminine, but displays the mannerisms of both genders.
Okay.
So that definition works for me. But I still think that would probably be a no-go because most butch queens would be cisgender.
Well, some I know a couple butch queens that's non-binary as well. But I float around in different circles in the community, so I get to see a lot of different things and different, aspects of the community that probably people don't necessarily get to see.
I'm sure.
So I think I've met like all different types of butch queens. I know some trans butch queens too. I know a lot of butch queens. You know.
I've had contact with were either cisgender. I don't know that I've ever met a trans butch queen. Giovanna says she's met a trans butch queen. I don't know if I've ever met a trans butch queen. We're either cisgender or not masculine presenting.
Mm. Yeah, I know some of both.
Go with
I know a lot. Yeah.
queen, that might be a different conversation. But if they're cisgender, it's still a wash for me. So either way, point being, what I like is a lot harder to find, I feel like.
I mean, yeah, good luck with that. I mean, you putting it out here into the world. You never know. Somebody might hit your DMs like right after this. Right in the middle.
There's a million trans masculine men, and there's a million like studs in the world. So you just don't often find them in the same place. So it's just harder to find.
Liz, dating is so difficult. I'm telling you.
I mean, like I said, I think my biggest thing is I don't like anybody. Like if you put me in a room full of 100 people that fit all of those classifications I just say, I might like two of them.
I think
Like a
for
vibe.
me,
So if the vibe isn't there, then it's just a wash for me.
I think for me, it's people sexualize everything. It's kind of wild for me. So
And say more.
I just mean like
Yeah, body.
because I feel like because of social media, people are very like open to like asking you wild stuff about your body, and just sending you just like random pictures of their bodies, um, you know, and like think that that is a form of communication or like some type of insinuation that like, hey, I want to get to know you.
Well, I guess it depends on what they want to get to know you for. Like if they just trying to sleep with you, I guess that's all. Well, not that that's all it takes with you, but I'm saying if that's all they're looking for, that's all they're looking for. Like, do people hit you like that actually want to be in relationships with you though?
Do you think I hit people back that hit me up like that? I wouldn't know what they want.
No, I don't know how far you take them conversations.
Yeah, I usually ignore conversations like that. I mean, if you just like, if you just sending me like random body pic, I'm just like, why are we doing this? Because if you sending random body pics to me, I know you sending random body pics to everybody.
Yeah.
Because you don't know me from nobody. And even if you do know me, you should know better than to send me a random like picture that I didn't ask for.
I just, I also don't pursue. Like I'm not like I never hit somebody up like it's sliding into somebody's DM. Like that's just not even mine.
Oh, oh. I don't know. You know, if I see somebody that I want to get to know, oh, I'm sliding.
I will position myself in a way that you see me, and if you decide to try to talk to me, then that is entirely up to you.
But I don't. You know, with me, it's not like it's a lot of people that I'd be interested in to even slide in their DM. If you get me to slide in your DM, please believe you is a very special person because I really don't be sliding in people at DMs. I can think of like very few people who DM my slide. I probably like two, three in like social media history.
Well, all right, you must have been very special, apparently, if you're one of the two or three
Yeah, I'm not really the one, but I'm also a more like let me get to know you,
in the
like
world.
yeah, in the real world kind of person, you know. Um,
I can't. I swear to God, you said you read that.
I, I swear it in both yeah. Wait, I believe dating is easier.
the one.
That people think in the LGBT community because it's like ice cream, so many different flavors. I slid in both y'all DMs and got ignored. Stop it. She play too much.
All the time. She played all day.
But no, I just yeah, random like body parts and stuff like that. I
I'm
don't know what to tell you.
extremely shy. Like people don't think that because I'm like professionally outspoken. They think that I'm very shy. Like socially or personally, it's a completely different situation.
I'm not shy at all.
I'm
I'm
surprised.
I am not shy. Like if I see somebody that I want to talk to, you better believe I'm gonna go talk to them.
That person.
I'm definitely that person. Um, listen, I don't even care who you talking to, who you with. Like not in a relationship sense, but I'm just saying like girls usually hang in packs. They always it's like always a group of them. Nope, I'm going. Not shy, but also like I think pandemic was kind of you know that slowed up dating for me a lot. I think too, and I don't think I ever really jumped back into it after.
You never recovered.
I don't think I ever recovered. No, no, not that. It's just like I think I thought about dating a whole lot differently after
Why?
that whole pandemic thing. Um, I just realized that a lot of people don't know how to communicate. And I think pandemic taught me that.
Why? Because you had why? Say more. That's interesting.
Because during pandemic you couldn't really do in-person dates.
Mm-hmm.
So I think a lot of physical stuff, gets in the way of people actually talking and learning about each other and communicating with each other on and making, actually having to make that effort to communicate because you can't go outside. You can't just say, let's go to a
There's
movie
no,
and sit through a movie for 2 hours.
there's no distraction.
Or there is no distraction. And I think I really found out that some people don't know how to communicate. So,
I don't know that I've heard anybody else say that before, but that's interesting because that's true.
I mean, I also feel the same way about, the time when I was practicing polygamy.
Oh yeah, come back to that. Talk about that. I want to hear that story.
I mean, what story? It's not really a story, but I just feel like,
And
you know,
that being like what you were doing, a practice that you were practicing.
yeah,
That's
yeah. I just feel like it changed my outlook on dating as well. Um, because when you date more than one person at the same time, you really have to communicate with each one of them. Like, I think in normal, I wouldn't say normal, but like regular dating, monogamous dating, people fall into like a blueprint of like what dating looks like.
mm.
You know, like, oh, we date, we live together, get married, have kids. You know what I mean? And I think like a lot of those movements and those changes and like those big decisions don't really get talked about enough when you're in monogamous relationships. But when you're in like a polygamous relationship, you really have to have those conversations with everybody. And it's a lot of talking and it's a lot of communicating. And it's like,
So you don't have to answer this question, but what people don't realize that polygamy comes in a lot of different forms. Like in some situations, everybody has a relationship with everybody. In some situations, one part you have like a primary partner, and then like other partners, and they may have other partners. Like, what was your setup?
no, there was no hierarchy. And both people were just dating me, they weren't dating each other.
Okay. I think I've thought about it a lot, mostly because I've ended up in polygamous situations that I wasn't aware that I thought I was in monogamous relationships, but I've thought about it a lot, like trying to figure out if that's more feasible in this day and age, like if that's how it has to work for a relationship to be successful. And I think for me, the only way that I would be able to do it is if it was more like a throuple type of situation where everybody involved had a relationship. I think that's the only way I could ever function. And then even then, I don't know. She kind of said I'm always the primary partner. See, like that's the thing for me. Like that doesn't make me feel better. Like for me, in order to be successful in polygamy, you have to get yourself to a place where, like, almost like that doesn't matter. Like that there's just a mutual affection and care, and you have expanded your ability to love to include multiple people. And so for me to have one person be the primary partner, even if it's me, and I haven't gotten to the place where I'm comfortable, like I'm not threatened by or feel less than or whatever, I don't even know how to verbalize it, than another partner. Like me being the primary partner doesn't matter. Me being the primary partner, you seeing somebody else feels like you're cheating on me, to me. Whereas if you have all communicated about it and gotten to the point where you all have an understanding that, you know, everybody's equal here and it's just a expansion of love or whatever, I might be able to get myself there, but I don't know. Yeah. It'd be.
I think it it takes a certain person to be able to be in, polygamous relationships. So I don't think it's really like something that's for everybody. Um, but again, I'm a Gemini, so I mean, I can be in monogamous relationships. I can be in a polygamous relationship. I don't think I've done both.
Do you
Yeah.
do you have a preference towards one or the other, or is it just
I actually don't have a preference. I feel like it just depends on like are all my needs met in this monogamous relationship, you know, or at least enough of them.
I mean, I think a lot of the reasons why I'm so like trigger shy with the relationship at this point is because I know I'm a good ass chick. I'm not perfect by far, but I know I'm a good ass chick and I got a lot to bring to the table to offer. And I have been like wildly mishandled in a lot of the situations that I've been in. So now it just seems less like I think you really gotta, I don't know. I don't know what somebody would have to say for me to be like, you know what, this is it. Hey, hey, Treya. I just don't know. I don't know. I don't know what I'd have to see or experience or feel or whatever to feel like.
See, I don't know. I mean, I just try not to like let the bad relationships overshadow, what could be a good relationship with somebody else. You know,
That's how
I'm
I feel. Yes.
I'm really into like really like just meeting people where they're at and working on my own stuff before I, get into another relationship or stuff like that. I think it's always good to have like I don't know, I haven't been in a relationship in probably like over a year or something like
I love
that.
that
You know,
for a long time.
you said what?
That's so funny. I said I love how you talk about that like it's a long time.
I mean that's just like currently. Before that it was probably like 4 years. Before that, it was probably like 7. I don't know. It's been, I'm probably exaggerating with 7 years, but like, you know,
And then
I'm just
you were
saying.
like dating between that time, or you were just like cold turkey. Like
It just some of them I was kind of like cold turkey. And then some of them I just feel like I always take like a period in between where I'm just like not dating
yeah,
anybody.
you.
Um, but then like, I will like right now, it's been like a year. I'm just now getting back into the dating field.
Your face all glowy when you talk about that. That's funny.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's been okay so far, I guess. You know, good change. Not cause I'm exhausted.
Or he's exhausted.
I don't know who exhausted. Who exhausted, Giovanna? I don't know. Yeah, so take some good time for myself, ease back into like the dating scene in the last few months.
Are you the one that usually pursues people, or do you prefer to get pursued?
Don't like to be
You're
pursued. I do not like to be pursued.
you
Um,
pursued?
mm-mm.
That's a lot of dudes now will say that they like to be pursued.
Nah. not me. I'm cool. I just feel like if I want to get to know somebody, I'm gonna get to know them. Like, you don't have to pursue me. Like, I'm gonna just be like, hey, what's up? I'm very big on like,
Javon just got out of here.
I'm very big on like mutual liking. Very big on that.
So
Like,
does
if
that
you,
because like I know for me, part of the reason why no, I'm not even gonna say that part. I know for me, a lot of the major relationships I've had, I've met through people, like a group of friends, and we all chill someplace, and then like their friend happens to come chill that night, and then I meet somebody like that. Like I meet people not in a like set up dating situation. Like I will not blind date. I refuse to do a blind date ever. I don't. I don't do hookups. Like I don't. That's not my thing. Like it's very casual. Um, so how do you usually meet the people that you end up messing with?
um, so it's all I travel all different places.
Are you airport? Are you meeting them because somebody introduces you? Are you like at the club? Like
I, everything.
okay,
People introduce me to people. I have met people in the airport. Funny story. Uh, but I just I don't know. For some reason people like to talk to me, so I talk to people sometimes if I'm in the mood to. I'm a Gemini, so some days I might not be so talkative. But you know, I just downloaded Hinge for the first time.
oh, cute.
I've been on Hinge for a little while now. I don't know. They keep sending me Canadians, but
Well, stay close.
I'm saying I might need to get over the border sometime soon. No, depending on who win this
I don't
election. But
look here. That's a whole other topic. I
I'm just fine. But yeah, yeah. So I just joined Hinge, which has been interesting, cause Hinge, you can put that you're trans on there, and although people don't, I don't know if they don't read the profile, but mine does say trans man, or they don't know what that is. Cause I be getting some weird.
present so masculine. They probably think they go.
It's a lot. I feel like there's a lot of mess. T, have you ever dated someone that was supposed to be a one-time partner? I know I have, but what's your thoughts? So, like somebody that was supposed to be a one night stand. Is that is that the question? Or like I don't think I ever had a one night stand. So 2 nights, but not one. No.
Funny. He's that's me.
Um, have I ever? I listen. So funny thing is, no, I won't say. That's kind of a weird question. I did kind of end up in like a situationship with somebody who with somebody who was supposed to be like a 2 night stand. Um Ended up in like a friends with benefits kind of situation. But then it kind of went real left, so nah. I I I
You need to tell
I try to stay away from things like that in my adult age.
in your big age.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was like my childhood things.
I definitely that's a no.
But yeah, one time, I'm just saying, I never had a one night stand. I haven't. If somebody out there can tell me that I forgot about,
Invite
let
that.
me know. You said what?
I said, don't invite that trouble. They might start coming over.
I'm I'm like, if is somebody out there that I forgot about because I don't think I've ever had a one night stand. So yeah, 2 nights is true, but not one.
I feel like we need to hear that story.
Which one?
The 2 night stand that went left, went very left, went far left.
No, I didn't say the two lights went left.
You said it went left.
I didn't say. No, I said
Situation
I,
shit
I said it turned into a situationship.
that went way left.
Oh, yeah. Nah, we don't got enough time for that one. Maybe, maybe on another day.
So that's
Maybe on another day for that one. But yeah, I just feel like it's a lot. It's a lot that goes into dating now, especially with like apps and social media and all of this other stuff.
somebody a few comments back said something about not being able to tell if someone likes them or not, and that being a problem for them.
Oh, that's a problem for me too.
That you can't tell when people like you.
Nah, I just think everybody think I'm cool. Like,
I mean, but there's a difference.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I never initially just assumed that somebody likes me. Like, they really have to be like, I like you. And then I'd be like, oh, okay. But yeah, I don't know why my friends tell me that, like, I'm really bad at, like, seeing the signs of people.
But I think that I was about to call you Mixie, but that's not fair. I think that you're very like flirty by nature. And so you maybe don't recognize when somebody is actually trying to be flirty with you because that's just like you're friendly.
Mm, I don't know. Most people tell me I'm mean.
But with people you actually like know, I'm not talking about strangers necessarily.
Listen, I've had strangers walk up to me and be like, why you look so mean?
But that's what I mean. Strangers from across the room is different. But I'm talking about when you're actually engaged in a conversation with somebody, I feel like you're like relatively flirty. So if they're being flirty back, that might be them trying to show you you're interested when you're not interested. You're just being friendly.
Mm, it depends. Am I single or not?
Yes. Let's go with yes.
Oh, okay. Because that's a different tea when I'm in a relationship. Relationship tea is different from single tea. So maybe.
I'm sure that is the truth. Sure, that's the truth.
Maybe.
I probably, I don't know. I don't think I probably know when people like me either. I don't think people like me. Like, I'll find out 10 years later somebody liked me, and I'll be like, when? Where? When did that happen?
I don't know. Yeah, I never just assume that people like me. I just assume that people, think I'm cool. I'm chill. So,
Shit is
which
so
is funny because I don't know. Apparently, I get hit on by everybody, like all genders. That's becoming a thing. So,
I
I don't really, I don't know where to go with that.
I
So, what, that you've been getting hit on by all genders?
know that you be getting hit on by all genders. I told you a long time ago. I told you were like a hot commodity in the Western New York region. I told you that a long time ago.
Yeah, I'm still waiting to figure out how that became a thing.
It's true. It's true. I bet you, Giovanna, when she hears that part, she'll confirm. Like, you were definitely a topic of conversation in people's conversations.
Oh, yeah, them conversations never got to me.
It just passed you. Oh my God. Now she's talking about not everybody. I don't want you. Whatever.
No, I mean, I think probably nobody ever told me because people probably know I really don't date in New York. So, you know,
See, she said, yeah, I told you.
I don't even know how that would happen. I just really work and keep to myself for the most part.
But people know who you are. You don't got to be out there just for people to like you. Like, people know who you are. You're fairly public.
Am I?
Yeah. I mean, people know who you
I'm not a huge topic. Stop it.
are. When she read it, she would agree.
I'm definitely not a huge topic.
One, because I don't think anybody knows if you're single or in a relationship. I think that's interesting. Two, you're cute, so that definitely doesn't hurt. Three, like between ballroom and like the legislative, like community work that you do. Look, she said you national. Community work you do, like people know who you are. Like you're a public figure.
I'm a in the house kind of guy.
Whatever. You are in the
Only time you see me is when I'm on the plane. No. No, I don't really consider myself a public figure, you know. I do the work that's necessary that I like doing, you know.
I mean, I think there's a difference between trying to be seen and people knowing who you are. Like I'm not saying you like you are like a look at me type of person, but people know who you are. You're involved in a lot of stuff. You can't help but people know who you are when you're involved in a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I be busy.
You do. You be booked and busy.
Yeah. I guess because my dating life is not booked and busy.
But do you want it to be? You don't want it to be.
Mm, I don't know, you know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I don't know. You know, you never know. I might be 2 years from now in a whole marriage or
You
something.
might be. I'll be as long as I get an invitation.
Yeah. Since I'm such a public figure, Blackout can come cover it. No.
You got it.
I'm just playing. Here up, not the king of the public figures talking about some I'm a public figure. No. I'll be in a house.
Whatever.
I mean, you out here on the national magazine.
I think a lot of people think I'm in a relationship. Is part of it, and
Oh,
people
okay.
also pay no attention. So there's that. But combination of the two, either one
You
helps.
said what was the second thing?
I said when people try to talk to me, I pay them no mind. It's also not helpful.
Oh, yeah, you really got to put yourself out there.
Oh no, I'm not ever gonna put myself. That's if somebody
Well,
catches.
I don't mean put yourself out there, but I just mean like, I feel like there's a lot of people who have been in like bad or not great relationships, relationships, dating, whatever the case may be, and then like they build up like a wall that nobody else can get into, even if it is the right person,
There's a
you know?
wall. There's a sniper on top of the wall. There is a security force.
Oh, see, it's given. What's that movie? Where that one girl, they was trying to get a boy. Her, it was a dude trying to get with her, and he had to fight like all her seven exes or something like
Is
that.
that not a thing?
What movie?
What movie is that?
What movie?
I need to go watch.
It was some movie I watched, and I'm like, yeah, that's wild. But yeah,
You don't have
it's given like,
X gauntlet. You don't have to do that, but
but no, you really gotta. I feel like it's a lot of people in this world that's like that, and I feel like they block like it could be like your blessing could be out there trying to get in and you done built up a wall to keep everybody out and you also keep out the person that's trying to get in.
first of all, I think that if something's meant to be, it'll be. It'll find a way to be a way. Like I believe that. I believe the universe will align things the way it's supposed to be. Whether like I don't ever go outside, they'll like become my mailman or something, and we'll run into each other when they're delivering an Amazon package. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like if something's meant to be, it will be. First of all, so don't you be sending your tea on me. I feel like if it's meant to be, it'll be. Secondly, I feel like like I've done a lot of work for like healing. Like I've gone to therapy, like I've worked through my stuff, like I've, done all my shadow work and my healing and whatever to get to a place where I'm happy and comfortable and happy with myself and happy with my life. And so in order for something to potentially disturb that. Like, I really have to feel like it's worth it. And I don't know that that's a bad thing. I do not give people enough chance to get, because I'm a very guarded person. But I feel like I got to that honest. And I also feel like a lot of the people that have taken advantage of that are people that knew that about me and worked really, really hard to get behind those walls and then still did some nonsense. So that's tough to want to like really open yourself up again or whatever. But you know, I think that if something really comes up that is the right thing for me, I feel like that you can't run from that. I feel like if the universe has something for me, it will find a way to work around all my little idiosyncrasies.
I mean, I get that, and that all of that is valid. The only part that I disagree with is the part where you said you could stay in your house, and the mailman gonna come knock on the door, and he gonna be listen. I'm I like, and I get, I get all of that. Healing is never linear, and I get like, I definitely understand a lot of people being at a place where, they're happy with the way that their life is and don't want like anything disturbed, because I think I have my own little things with that too. Like, I think I have like trauma around like I'm fine with dating. I can open myself up to date, but when I get a little anxiety when I start thinking about like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to live with somebody. Like, I ain't even gonna lie to you.
Like that serious of a relationship where y'all stayed together?
Oh, I was married, yeah.
I didn't even know that about you. Okay.
Like,
Okay. I know.
yes, I've had some really deep relationships. But then again, I haven't really had. I can probably count the number of like serious relationships I've had. Like, oh my, I don't really find too many people that I want to enter a serious relationship with.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Um, it's I meet people, I'm open to meeting people, I'm open to like going on dates with people and getting to know people. But a lot of times within getting that know people, it makes me realize that like, yeah, this person is not anybody that I would want to be in something long term with. And that does not mean that they're not a good person.
Yeah.
It just like there are clear signs that like this wouldn't work out long term, you know. So yeah, so it's very few people that like I've been in like real relationships with, but I think, all of my relationships were pretty serious, you know. But now when I think about like being in a serious relationship, because I've been dating long distance for so many years now, it's like, okay, once a relationship, if I do enter a relationship and get to a certain point, like I'm gonna have to like live with somebody again.
What would
And
that look like for you if you did get into a serious relationship with somebody who was out of town? Like, would you be open to moving? Would you expect them to move? Would y'all just maintain like separate cities? Like, what does that look like for you?
I've had serious relationships with people who live in different cities. Um, it just never got to the point where it's like, okay, now what? You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm not against having serious relationships with people who don't live in my city. That's really the hope,
Yeah,
right?
but you didn't answer the question. Like, would you want?
Uh,
Would you consider moving? Like, are you so established in your work and your career that you would take moving off the table? Like,
so, I feel like I'm not against moving. Um, I feel like if a relationship and the person was, somebody that I could see myself with longevity, no, I wouldn't be against moving.
okay,
And I feel like I would be the one who would probably have to move,
why?
because why would you ask a woman to move? I feel like that's a little unfair. Just in my eyes, I just feel like
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like women like to be very like safe. And I feel like with something that big, you would be pulling them out of like their safety zone to begin with, you
Girl, there's
know.
here, hush.
You said what?
You want to say you can't move because it's too much work in New York. It's work everywhere. So,
Yes. So, but yeah, I feel like, it would be like you already putting them in a position where, they're a little bit vulnerable living with
yeah.
somebody, it's a new stage. So, security is a big thing. So I wouldn't ask anybody to move unless that was like something that they wanted to do.
What about starting in a new city together?
Would I be
So, like,
against?
so I said, what about starting in like a new city together? So everybody has to start over. Like, it's a new start for everybody.
You don't need, it's an option if that is something that, she wanted to do. But again, I just would be more comfortable with, safety, security, things like that.
Okay.
I'm a feminist, so you know
Love that.
I am women first always. So
Well, I love that. I love that.
yeah, I
Me too.
needed to be a mutual decision
Who's
about who's moving.
yeah?
Yeah, of course it would be a conversation, but I would offer myself to move first. If that person wanted to move,
Live in.
you said what?
What if it's a city you didn't want? I mean, I don't know what city you wouldn't want to live in, but what if it was a city you didn't want to live in?
Um,
Would that matter? Change anything?
I don't think I've ever dated anybody in a city I didn't want to live
Is
in. So I don't know.
that of who you date based on what city they're in?
Nah,
Just so happens that they haven't been in places you may want to go.
it just so happened. Well, Atlanta, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm not.
Want to live?
You say
You
what?
wouldn't want to live in Atlanta?
No, I'm not. I'm not a down south person. Like I'm a city boy.
They got cities down south.
Yeah, and them cities move real slow.
Atlanta,
And
that's in slow.
no, I love Atlanta to party, but it's way too hot for me down there. It's not, you know,
Now,
it's just not a city. It's a great city. I love partying there. Don't get me wrong. I'm gonna party there in like 2 weeks, Atlanta Pride. But yeah, it's just I just wouldn't, I don't think it's for me.
yeah, I would never. I could never. Both my sisters are in Atlanta, so when I was getting ready to move, like that's where they wanted me to come, but Atlanta's not for me. It's not my place.
Yeah, my brother in Atlanta, my best friend in Atlanta. It's a lot of people I know that live in Atlanta, but it's just not, it's not a place that's on my to be at list. Give me somewhere like I could do like Midwest, I could do like West, out West, you know.
Yes, really?
Yeah, I could definitely do it out West. I almost moved out West once. Huh?
Like out west, like California, or out west? I don't.
Like I love LA.
Yeah, yeah.
I love LA.
I could see.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Had a great time. Versus like San Francisco. Oof,
You don't like San Francisco?
nah. It was too much for me. I seen way too much in San Francisco.
That sounds like a story too.
Yeah. Yeah, I seen a lot in San Francisco. I was out there for you know what? I've never been to San Diego. That's on my places to be list to check
I
out.
heard San Diego is beautiful.
I heard it was beautiful too. Yeah. But yeah, I could do out west. I don't know. Would you move?
I don't know. Um, I just went through a big move, so and it was hard. Like moving was hard for a lot of reasons. Like readjusting, rebuilding my career, like getting acclimated. Like it was hard. So I don't know that I'm necessarily gonna live down here forever. Like I could see me settling in like Maryland or a little bit farther north that isn't New York, maybe. But I don't know. It would take a lot for me to be willing to move again. I think I would under the right circumstances, but because it's not so much that I'm like super tied to being in this specific place, although I do love it here. It's more so the fact that like moving is just a lot. Like just a lot. Reestablishing yourself takes a lot of energy and a lot of work and a lot of money. It's expensive to move across the country. So it's a possibility under the right circumstances, but it would have to be the really good circumstances. But I also wouldn't expect anybody to move here either. So
Florida? Ooh.
We'll see, but like I said, we've had this conversation though. Like it depends on where you are in Florida. Like I live in a super LGBTQ friendly city. I would say the city that I live in Florida is more LGBTQ friendly than Rock. So, you know, people are afraid of Florida, and they should be in parts of it. But in general, like I would never ask someone who would have difficulty like accessing medical care here, move here, because I don't think that's fair. But I also know like we shut down every single anti-LGBTQ bill that was up for in legislation in 2024. So Florida is changing. It's a distinct possibility that it's going to be a swing state this year again after it's been super red. So like all those things change. And depending on where you are, if you're in Orlando, if you're in Tampa, if you're in where I am, which is outside of Tampa, if you're in Miami, if you're in Jacksonville, like there are a lot of really LGBTQ friendly places. There's a lot of culture. There's a lot of great queer culture down here that people don't always realize. So like, and it's beautiful. Like it's absolutely beautiful here. So I read something the other day that the city that I live in, it's sunny 363 days a year. And I live 5 minutes from the ocean. Like that's a lot when you grew up in a place that's cold for 9 months out of the year and the beach is like Ontario. Like that's a lot. Like so, there's some really beautiful places around here, and I think people get in this place where they feel like other places are less safe for them than New York when you're not always even safe in New York. Like I think it's a country problem, not like an area problem. But again, I would never ask somebody to move here that might have difficulty accessing medical care. Like why would I ever, like that's ridiculous. That's selfish. I would never do that. But it's not so bad. Like if you came out here, you would probably like it. It's a lot of fun. However, it would have to be a really good situation for me to be willing to move. Plus, that would also be like displacing my kids, which are always my number one priority. I have 2 kids, mind you. My oldest is grown, and my other one is starting high school here. So they're not little kids, but still, like I wouldn't want to pull my kids out of like their senior year or halfway through high school. That's not fair. So there's other considerations for me. I don't plan on staying down here forever. Like I don't feel like I want to be an old person just hot all the time. Like I want to scarves and boots and cute coats are my whole aesthetic. So I want to, I'm gonna be an old lady someplace where I can wear boots and scarves and cute shit. But I don't know. Moving for love, maybe.
And I thought Florida was the place that the old people went to.
Oh, that old people out all the time. I guess like they want to be in they flip flops and booty shorts. I guess, but I want.
So so how is it dating in the queer community with kids? Well, does that not really pose a factor because of their age?
I think it depends. Cause like when I started, so like my kids are 6 years apart. So it's a big differential there. So my youngest son doesn't remember me out. My older son, he remembers, but it was a long time ago. But every relationship he's seen me in, except for the one with my youngest son, which was 14 years ago, was with women or transmasculine folks. So his dad is trans. So he gets it and they understand it. My kids with me to the pride parade, like they understand my work. They've protested with me, whatever. My youngest son has never known anything but. And so it's just, he is the most, like when he was in fifth grade, when we first moved to Florida, when he was in fifth grade, he like punched somebody in the face because, and like explained to them all the intricacies of trans justice in fifth grade, and didn't think about it twice because he is such a, like, I love what it's done for him. Like one day my son wanted to, he has locks, so he had a scrunchie and he was gonna put his hair up in a scrunchie. He went to school and I was like, you sure you want to wear that? You want like a rubber band? And he was like, no, my friend gave it to me. And I was like, okay. And he was fine because he's super fluid and he gets it and he understands all of the things, and he was raised in the community. All his uncles and aunties and family are from the queer community. Like we very much built our village of our family. I think they've really adapted to the whole queer, Black queer chosen family thing. They built that into a part of their understanding in ways that kids that aren't part of queer families don't know and don't get the same way. So I love that for them. Their friends are their family. And I think that comes from being raised around people that understand what chosen family means and how important it is. So I love that for them. I don't know that dating necessarily is different outside of the fact that I think a lot of times queer relationships move really fast. And so that's different for me in a queer relationships because I don't move fast anyway. So that's like not a thing, but like I don't bring everybody around my kids. Like they've really only seen me with the people that I had long-term situations with. So, but I don't know that that's common necessarily. I feel like a lot of times kids end up coming in and out of their parents' relationships a lot, and that's not something that my kids have experienced because I do that. But I don't know if that's like a queer relationship thing or just in general relationship thing, because that's how I've always been with my kids. Like my kids have only seen a handful of people, and like I said, one of them is grown, and he's only seen with a handful of people. So, you know, so I think it does change things. I don't know that it necessarily changed that much in my situation because like I just don't have everybody around my kids. It's not fair to them. But see, that also affects my dating in the fact that they have, because they've only been around a handful of people, that's not something that I'm going to ask them to do again. Like I'm not going to ask them to like build relationships with people that or spend time, like, you know, be inviting them to their gallery exhibits or their football games. Like that's not something that I'm going to ask them to do because they've already invested so much time and effort in the couple relationships that I've had in their lifetime that, you know, just because I want to date people doesn't mean that they have to date people because they're big now. Like they're big kids now. It's not like they're 5 and that means I gotta like leave them at home by themselves in order to go pursue a relationship. Like their time is their time and my time is my time.
Okay. I'm just curious, you know, how like you handle like mom life and dating and you know. It's always interesting to me. I don't know.
At this point, so they probably wouldn't know one way or the other.
Oh, okay.
But they also like my youngest son thinks he's my husband and my oldest son thinks he's my dad. So it would be a challenge if I was trying to go, but I don't know how much of that we're gonna be doing anyway. I don't know how much of introducing them to people.
I think that's a good policy though for everybody with kids that date. Although I don't think I've ever really dated anybody with kids like for real.
No.
So
Would you?
um yeah, probably not. Um you know, it's not really something that has been like on my things to do list throughout the
So
years.
funny. Have you purposely not dated anybody with kids, or have you just not been in that situation?
You know, I've been in a situation. I've met people with kids that I've been on dates
Okay.
with. And I did have a situationship with someone with like a kid before, but like to actually be like, you know, it's not really something that like
So do you want kids though? Like, if you got serious with somebody, would you want kids?
like like if I got serious with somebody who had kids, or like
I'm sure
if I got serious with,
you don't want people with their own ready-made kids, or you just don't want kids. Aren't sure you want kids in general.
oh, I mean, maybe one day I'll adopt some kids. You know, I could do the single dad life. I don't technically have to have a partner with kids to have kids, but I don't know. That would be a conversation for me and whoever I was dating, I guess. I'm not against kids in any way. I just feel like a lot of times, or like the few people that I've like gotten to know who had kids, like I feel like they should have been paying more attention to their kids than like trying to date me. So that I don't know. For me, that's always
So would it be different for you if they felt like they were, if you felt like they were like a really good mom and prioritized their family and their kids? Would that change things for you?
maybe. I don't know. I mean, I don't really have any practice in dating people with kids either, so it would be something totally different for me. So
I haven't actually dated a lot of people there, to be honest. I'm trying to think back. Not many.
yeah, so I mean, I'm not against kids though. I love kids.
But you
I,
also work with kids for your work. So I'm just curious if maybe that's like a thing that you like it's too much to do.
oh no, no, no. I got a lot of kids in my family. I love hanging out with them. You know, I got like 20 some nieces and nephews.
Send them back. That's different.
I mean, sometimes I send them back. Sometimes they don't want to go back. So they stay with me for a little bit. But yeah, I like kids. Kids is cool. I don't think kids are really bad. I think they just have a lot of energy, and it's finding something to put all that energy into so that they tired at the end of the day. That's the way I look at
Sound like a weekend dad to me.
it.
All right, so before we wrap this thing up, because we hit our hour, does anybody have any questions that are watching? Because we might answer some, maybe, depending on what they are.
I mean, I feel like the people that was tuned in was commenting during the. But yeah, any burning questions about anything we discussed?
What should we talk about next time, too? I want to know what people think we should talk about next.
About anything we discussed?
What should we talk about
Oh,
next time,
hold
too?
on, I got
Look
a
at you. That's the
thing we discussed.
What
I
should
don't
we
know
talk
what
about
I
next?
did. Oh, okay. Yeah, I be doing a lot.
How can I contact y'all? Let
What should we talk about next time? How can I connect? How can I contact y'all? Girl, you got my number. What you talking about? You need to be putting wave women up here to tell people to connect with you. How can people contact me?
That's me. I just put your I just tagged with my page. I tagged your page so that
What which page?
your Facebook page
Oh, okay.
DMs are open.
No, it ain't.
Hello.
No, I do open my DMs when people send them to me. I cannot tell you that I always respond, but I definitely open every DM that I get.
Do you really?
I do. I open them all. I cannot tell you I respond to them all, but I open them all.
They want to talk
Some
about the
some of
election.
them are very shocking.
I want to see yours. Look, there you go. Shavonna tagged us out. They want us to talk about the election next time. You want to talk about the election?
Yeah, we could talk about the election. I mean, it's not really too much to talk about besides don't vote for Trump. Like what else?
Get right
But yeah,
and vote. Period.
and don't vote for Trump.
That too, but you gotta be registered to not.
Yeah, definitely be registered. Definitely vote blue.
And there's a ton of people always want to hop on and jump for voting for the national elections. It's so important to make sure you're voting for elections because those are going to affect your life so much, or who decides who goes to jail and who doesn't. Legislators decide about all like the laws and statutes in your local areas. So even if it's not a presidential election year, it's incredibly important to get out there and let your voice be heard. I think people mess up thinking that, okay, well, I voted for this person and they didn't win, so their vote didn't count. But if all those people who don't show up because their vote didn't count showed up, their vote would count in the number. So make sure you know how to get registered. After we end this live, I'll post the link so you can check your registration and make sure you're registered in the right place and where you go to vote and all that good stuff. Because we don't have an effect on a whole lot of things in this country. That's one thing we can do. So make sure you show up.
Show up and show out. It is, what is this? How the year's voting is critical for LGBTQ community. That is true. It's the queer year.
It is.
Make sure you,
Oh, that's our next.
yeah,
We're the vote.
queer the vote. Make sure you find out who your legislators are and what they support
And there's
when you go
sites
to
you
vote.
can easily look that stuff up on. Like it's one site where you go. I'll post that on Black Ops page too. One site where you can go and it'll tell you who all your people are, all the people that are running, what type of people they are, what kind of things they vote for. And there's a bunch of legislation on every state going on right now too. Trans rights legislation that people are trying to get passed and not passed. There are in Florida, they're trying to legalize marijuana. That's on the ballot. Codifying abortion rights is on the ballot in Florida. Like there's really, even if you don't care about the presidential election, which you, because that can really define what our next more than 4 years look like in this country, especially for us folks. Um, Make sure you know what else is on your ballot and what maybe you should be showing up for to let your voice be heard. Right.
Power at the polls.
That's right. All right. So I guess that's it. That was Tea with TNT. That's our explosion.
Boom.
Watch the page. We'll put up when we are gonna go live again and do another show. And if you have a topic you want us to talk about, hit me, hit T, write it in the comments after this post. Let us know what you want to talk about. Because
And
clearly,
remember, this T over there is single, and she said her DMs is open.
this T did not say that. This T is single, but this T did not say that. That T is definitely single and dating, apparently.
I'm dating, but we I don't know. Maybe we could talk about that single or not thing on the next show.
Oh.
We'll see.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. We need a part 2 now, LGBTQ.
We'll see. We'll see.
Sounds like there might be late breaking news. I'm here for it. I better get a text about it before we I gotta hear it on the show though.
Not I'm sliding in both DMs. Here you go. Giovanna, is you back from camp? That's all. Text me.
Bye y'all. Thank you for tuning in.